That's been taking the longest, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing anywhere, Mike.
So we got, so I can hear something. So how are you? Go closer, we can hear you.
Yeah. You guys have agendas?
Because that's the.
We got a little closer. Okay. Poor guy behind here, too far to get. Yeah, yeah. Right, I guess I missed you in that meeting. I thought you were up for the cemetery up here.
Which meeting?
No,
Oh, meeting afterwards. Nah, I went to, yeah, where'd you get? That work?
Oh, right up there. So.
Fairmont.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where I was. Maybe you went to the high part. I was at the low part.
I see your ring. I mean, I was here a little while. Now, after you took off, I wasn't sure where you were.
Oh.
I didn't even told me.
Have you heard anything from, Lucian?
No, and I sent them an agenda and everything.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Did you send me an email on that?
No, I sent you in the mail. And you didn't get it in your Lake Elmore mail?
Maybe the post office. You
Oh, that's,
see, you're in Morrisville now, so you gotta go to Morrisville to get it.
oh, I forgot that.
I ain't got a nuisance citizen yet, but they don't deliver them anymore.
That is
I
right.
haven't been to the post office since last week. Huh. It's nice, because I'm in Morrisville, going to Lake Elm.
Well, are we ready or? Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 5:35. You want to call the meeting to order?
I will call the meeting to order at 5:35.
And how did you like the minutes that Bradley did? Did you guys get a chance to look at it? Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it, Bruce Wheeler, but I did the forwarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what he does is after the meeting, he takes everything from this meeting and it creates minutes. AI does.
Okay,
So I'll get these out to you after.
all right.
Accepting it and just saying that we got the minutes. You just need a motion from someone.
We need a motion to accept the minute.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, second. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the treasury report.
I don't, because we haven't done anything. Nothing's happened.
Oh,
It's the same as the last month.
yeah, I'm going to say
In April.
last time we had it, pretty well.
I was like, we're not doing anything. I haven't written a single check.
Okay, I wonder why I got paid. Talk about money, I'm gonna just deviate a little bit. I got a letter, first of January, I guess. From the government saying that I was going to get a raise in my social security, not the cost of living. That troopers, when I was on, didn't have social security.
Really?
And that consequently, we got cut short on our retirement, on our regular state retirement. And, boy, a month or so ago, I got another letter, said they're going to give me $353 more a month.
Oh,
Wow, that's a lot. That's good.
Wow, tell me, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So now he's partying, you know.
If you
Living it up.
need any money, I got a lot of it. Okay, one,
I don't remember what's next on the agenda. Contract. So I'm gonna hand these out. So when I looked it up, realized we have to do it, if we're gonna make any changes, we have to do it the first of the year. So read the contract. This was signed in 2003.
So this is the John.
This is the John contract. Yeah, it's been in effect. Look at all the people who signed. I mean, I think every single one of them is dead. I don't need to be rude.
That's all right. Well, I think you and I talked about this a little bit.
Mhm.
And my feeling was, it says that Ernest, John Clive will do all the openings and all that. And I see no problem with somebody that has a burial of,
Family.
Yeah.
So a family member,
well, or when they've been cooked.
cremated.
Cremated. You know, they had to go 3 feet deep, but, you know, some of them cremation things about like this. And I don't think that anybody should have to pay John to do that. Maybe one of us should be there to make sure they go 3 feet.
Well, according to this, it has to stay in effect until next year, and then we can change it. We'd have to change it before next January to allow other people to do it. Right now, it says him to do all grave openings and burials and cremations. I'm just trying not to get a suit. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, and I think he was at that point, he had emailed me and he was very upset about ones that supposedly had happened and he wasn't involved, and according to the contract, it was supposed to be him doing it.
Right, so,
And he said he didn't want to have to take legal action. So I think for now, like you said, we need to follow these
Right.
rules. We'll have to send out a notice to him in December.
Yes.
And let him know we're changing the contract and revise it then to say families or whoever can do cremations, but a commissioner has to be present.
so I want to know what wording you want to change in here. I mean, we can, the representatives, and it used to be the Wolcott Cemetery Association, it's now the commissioners, so we would change that.
Yeah.
And do contract with John to do all the grave openings, but
And
not
burial.
cremations.
Maybe say all the cremation and burials aside from cremations, would that make sense?
Or do all openings, unless the cemetery commissioners allow the family to do cremations, something like that, okay.
Yeah, that sounds. pretty-
And then we can have it, the same wording automatically renew. But we have to give him 30 days
Yes.
notice. So we would let him know December 1st, because this goes into effect January 2024, 2000. So that's, I went to write this up, and then I read this and I was, well, the year was January 1st, so
Yeah.
we can't make anything now, but I will come up with something and send it to you guys, and you can look it over, and then on December 1st, we'll send it to him certified mail.
Okay.
If everybody's okay with it, because it goes to P O Box 830, and I asked him if it was the same address, and he said yes.
Okay.
So that takes care of the contract, because I wanted to follow up on that with you guys, because we talked about that last meeting.
Is there anything else, anybody?
Unless you want to put any other wording in. Bradley, you and Mike have anything?
I don't know, it's the first time I'm reading it, so I have a few questions, you know, but if it's been working this long and there really hasn't been any problems, then I don't feel like I need to like really.
The only one who put something in wrong was Linda Willie, and we already addressed that.
Gotcha. But there's no like, this is it, this is the contract, there's no further details or anything like that, okay.
He's not our sexton, he's just the grave digger, I guess you could call
Who's
Gotcha.
that?
it. John isn't the sexton, he's the grave digger.
Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, I had asked everybody if they could. See what needs to be done in some of these cemeteries, and I volunteered to contact, Dana. And I did meet Dana up at, the cemetery here. And, looked at all over what should be done and all that, and ended up, I told him to do whatever he thought needed done and use whatever material he want, that he thinks should be used. And he said he'd do it within the next couple of weeks. And he also said there'd be no charge.
He's doing it as a donation. So after it's done, I think we should send him a thank you.
It's done
It's
in
done.
Fairmont.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Then we will, I will.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolutely right, Brad. I drove up there. I just get over here today. Long story why I haven't been here. You're right. It's perfect.
Yeah.
She has a tremendous job.
I haven't been to Taylor. I don't know if you have, Krista.
No, I don't know if it needed anything because the
I
town
know.
fixed it last year, so I don't know if that entry really
Yeah.
needed anything. So
Yeah, no, I didn't know he was gonna do anything at
I
Taylor.
think it was just Fairmont he was fixing, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, the only one that we talked about.
Great.
And then also, I looked around the Fairmont, yeah. And there's one place up there, if you go in, I think all that it has one name. Bronk or something like that. It needs to be really cleaned up. The brush, probably at least 12 feet out, kind of a junk. And on the other side, I think, I don't know who want to do it, but it should clean the whole thing up.
Is it Fairmont?
Yeah. It's probably that thing is named,
Yeah, but is it like near?
uh,
Something.
Island Circle.
where the I entrance here.
Okay.
Yeah, come right around. And
Is it that bush right by the pine trees or where the pine trees were?
Oh, was it one that we were
I
talking?
think we talked about it, yeah. No, those 3 pine trees that got cut. I think it's right there by them. There's like a bush. It's just-
Did you have enough left?
But it's.
No, we used some of the old ones.
Do you want me to order more next year?
Yeah, that's, I think.
oh, the used to be.
I was very surprised.
Yeah, we just reused some of the old flags that didn't look too bad to clean it.
4 years ago, the guy who cut them, the guy from Pittsburgh, that cut the 4 or 5 feet long tree.
Yeah, Michael.
So some shrubbery work.
That's what it needs.
Yeah, I think probably the same ones we had talked about when we did flags that day.
Okay.
I think it all needs to be cleaned out. It's really bad. You know, and I don't know if we want to do it or the mowing guy or what.
I have not heard from Mr. Kurtyard Services. I haven't sent him a check yet. I sent it to him May 15th. That's why we have to sign the contract and checks to be issued for this year for him. But no, I have not had any contact. He sent me by email an updated certificate of insurance, but that's all I've received.
I see he mowed.
Okay, I had.
Oh, it just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I could drag my wife out there, she'd know what's cut and how to cut.
If you can drag her, huh?
Yeah, she's good at that.
That's all right.
Okay.
I mean, there's a dead tree by the Hearst house that I think probably should come down. And then there's the other one, like as you walk out past the Hearst house out to further on the lower. part, there's-
Should we get a tree back there?
I'm taking this bed.
Yeah.
There's a dead tree here. And then
Oh,
a
yeah,
dead
sorry.
tree. They're only like,
Yeah.
you know, they're just,
I know that.
yeah, you just cut it down with a saw.
Do you think you need a professional for that?
For the one next to the Hearst house, it probably shouldn't be done by, it should be done by somebody.
Okay, well, the guy who did it before, Michael Reno or whatever, we can call him. He worked for the town this winter. So he's in Casper.
We can give them the 3, 4 jobs that need to be done.
Okay. Do you want me to have him contact you, Brad? You'll show him where?
Oh, yeah, that'd be totally fine.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, where are we signing here?
This is the order to pay the mower through the season.
Okay.
I don't wanna call you guys in every month for a check.
Sure.
So we sign it for the whole season.
And they're doing all the.
Yep, they do all 7. It's in the contract, that we pay them 14,700 for all of them. And we pay them twice a month.
Is it just mowing? Is it trimming? Is it?
Everything. He's even supposed to do the banks.
Okay,
We
So,
whack it
when
in.
time-
Yep.
When they had to be done by then, what, yes, I don't.
Okay.
At Fairmont, it's strange because it's so hilly, sometimes it's mossy, it's all sorts of stuff.
Damp in there.
Yeah.
Look at some of those big trees up there. Boy, they have to come down to the cemetery.
I know, some of those roots are unbelievable.
And I don't know how to get them out of there. I didn't realize how steep. Looking down on the road.
Yeah.
Actually straight now. I
And I-
never get some of those big
I think-
trees out of there.
Last, Bradley wanted to talk about this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we want to take it upon ourselves to fix up some of these stones, which, you know, I don't know if I'd call it a passion for it, but I'm definitely interested, and I think that we can. There's a lot of things that we could do ourselves. That if we had the right tools for, that we could just reset some of these stones really fast. And so that's where the chain hoist comes in. And we can just talk about the chain hoist, and it doesn't have to happen, you know, but I would just leave it locked up in the hearse house, and then anytime somebody wants to go fix a stone, you know, I mean, maybe it's just me. But, you know, I might be like, you know, that one's been bothering me. It'll take me 3 or 4 hours, but I'm just gonna put headphones on, go down there, and I'm like.
I just don't know, if even with a hoist, if I could hoist it.
With those chain hoists, you'd be surprised. They feel.
If they're easy, they're not.
Yeah, you can raise, oh, it's amazing.
It's, yeah,
I think, you
I
know,
mean, it's not an 8-track tape, which I have no idea how it works, but chain hoist, there's, you know, there's some science there.
I mean, I think if there's a
You know
smaller
those,
stones, fine, but if it was something like massive, you
Mm,
know,
No, you can't.
which I feel like the smaller ones would be fine, like the one we looked
Yeah,
at.
I'm not looking to, do anything like, so there, if we just skip to another thing, but we should finish this, right?
Yeah, the board has to make a decision if they want to buy it. What is it, $365 or
I didn't
something?
think it was that. I thought,
Oh, I have it.
Krista,
I think it was 250. I just saw one on Facebook Marketplace.
Chain hoist for 220, yeah, 220.
and what was the other thing you wanted? Cause there
Two
was
slings are 30.
Yeah, 2 slings.
$250.
What is this you're talking about?
It's a chain hoist to pull up a stone, and then
if we wanted to fix some of our own stones, the smaller ones.
You know, the mechanics, they have a device for pulling an engine out.
Mhm.
It's on wheels, comes up and around.
Yeah.
I don't know, that would be, we could find something like that.
It would be, I think that you're looking at could be $1,100. I have no idea.
That is expensive.
Yeah,
It's a whole apparatus.
yeah,
My brother bought one for lawnmowers and his was $800.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's not an engine, that's a small block.
But yeah, there's if you can look, if you can make any sense out of that.
Find one, so I
That's-
use one or
The
something.
beam.
Yeah, if we
and
have
you
one
just run
that
it
we're-
to this.
Welcome,
You know,
to we're not gonna
you just
donate
put a
it if
chain
we
on
want
it.
it back, but we.
This was the guy's workshop. that
We
he
have,
did,
you
I'm
know,
sure.
I
And,
Stones or is it better to get
No,
discount?
no, he's the
Same
one
thing
who's
he's
running
working
this
for.
workshop.
Right,
I'm
show
sure.
us.
He's talking
And,
about 3 pieces of,
Just watch
2
my
by
voice.
4s.
Yeah,
It's-
ours
it's
is just
simple
this
video,
round big
But
thing,
he's just
and then the chain.
So-
That's what
Oh,
we.
it's on.
No, that's the tripod you build, and then the hoist is something separate, right?
right.
Yeah, this is the tripod on this piece of paper, and then we put the hoist to it.
To it.
Now you have that at your house?
We have a chain hoist, yes.
Mhm.
So, I mean, and like I told him, we're welcome to use mine, I just wanted it back.
Right.
and use
We're gonna
it,
take a look at
you
it.
know. So we're welcome to use mine rather than buy one,
It might
but.
be restricted on the height, of how high you can lift it. But for the
Well, does it
smallest,
depend upon the boards you put in for the tripod?
I've got all the other pieces for it, just ain't chain hoist. Yeah, Bruce Wheeler's gonna give the wood up. I've got the washers and the chain and all this other crap.
So then if Krista's willing to let you use it sometime,
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely use it, and,
That's fine.
you know, we're
but
talking.
just don't break it, or she's gonna ask us for money.
I'm happy to go down that path.
My husband was.
So I think it's an all good idea, but I wonder just how much we want to get all, right?
It's a great point,
you
yeah,
know, you know, it's a good.
because I can definitely do nothing.
Well, it's you and I, we're not.
Well, that's what I think Cornelius is trying to say.
Yeah, so let's lean towards the borrow idea. And
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. I like that. Yeah,
If you haven't prepared or anything, just give me bills or
Yeah.
receipts and stuff and we can do that.
so the only thing we need to know is the tonnage on your hoist. And make sure it's at least whatever I linked to, I think maybe it was 1.5 tons or 2.
Yeah.
And then those straps.
Do we know of anybody local that does that kind of work at all?
No,
Inside,
other than just your monument companies. Nobody's doing volunteer like that because there's.
So, but I think he's looking at hiring. He
No.
wants us to hire.
I'm not, I'm talking about thinking about it, but
Well, we would have to put out a spec sheet.
have somebody that does that, take them around, this is what we want done.
Right, I think
How
you would have to put a spec sheet out. Anything over 5,000 in the town of Wolcott has to go out to bid.
It wouldn't be 5,000, or we went over, or we wouldn't do it.
49.99.99.
Yeah,
Well, because we have a purchase policy, so that's why I'm just letting you know that,
yeah, what?
Lucian,
Hey.
hey,
What
no, we're
He's
just.
alive.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
He's alive.
You got 5 more minutes.
Come have a seat. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but my leg's killing.
I know you said your left one's your hip.
Yeah,
Now it's your leg.
well, it's my hips.
Yeah. We were just talking about hoisting and stuff.
Check the cemetery up, downhill, that was a couple of stones got flat and go.
Yeah, those are the ones we were talking about starting with is the Davenport one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there are smaller ones manageable where we could do them ourselves.
Yeah,
These aren't huge stones and you can lift them up by hand.
So they're not broke, they just need to be put back in the ground.
Some clothes, one of them is because it's in the ground and hot, you know, the upper part's falling off, so we'd have to hoist it up, hold it there so we can glue, you know, adhese it back together. And then there's one that's in 1,000,000 pieces, which we talked about just replacing the stone itself, because it's in 2 million pieces. And then there's another one, I think it's just like the top piece of it is broke off. I
Mhm.
think there's a couple that they've like snapped in half that we'd hoist up and hold it there while we glued it, I think. I don't remember, there was like what, 3 or 4 up there.
Yeah, there's 3 that definitely need markers, and I think we could go ahead and just say, hey, let's buy them.
Yeah, the markers are not that expensive,
Yeah.
and you can just do a level, round level ones. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think-
replacing.
I think the broken one, we put them in something, put them in hers. And the little markers will have to put names on them or a name. I think that'd be a lot better than trying to piece it up like that. And
Yeah, it's not, I don't think that's gonna be possible.
So we need somebody to make a motion to go ahead with it, maybe put Bradley and Krista in charge of getting it all together and replacing those 3,
Yeah.
Okay.
and go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I could look back in my emails. I had talked to John about what his cost of the stones were last year, I think it was.
Because I think you guys can set them, you can get them and just set them.
Yeah.
Okay, do you need their names?
Well, you'll need them when she orders them.
Okay,
Yeah. Well,
I
I
mean,
think,
for the motion.
Yeah.
oh, no, you don't need the names. You can just say 3 stones in Davenport we're going to replace or fix or whatever.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that would replace these 3 stones in Davenport with markers.
I'll second it.
All right.
And Chris, I got them on here on our, and I'll just slip in our new plot map for Davenport here, so it's got a bunch of numbers and stuff on it, so we'll be able to take, this one's really small, it's hard to see anything, but
They just order them and get me in.
It's all the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the spreadsheet, there's, I have a list, and now you can just kind of,
So he's
you know.
The Davenport doesn't have a map.
lining them up with names and stuff and finding out what we're missing.
Did you find any empty lots, Brad?
What would be an empty lot? Like,
Space where there's no stone.
Just walk.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like, here, take one of those.
Yeah, there's
You
a
think somebody owns it, they just haven't put the stone?
lot of spaces there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's all wide open. This is open.
Another thing I can say is, we must have the records of all the plots that are sold. Once we get it mapped, we'd have to line up with the plots and who's got stones and try to figure out if any of them are missing.
Yeah, the Davenport ones are the oldest ones and they are really very far back in the, like handwritten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got this,
Some from Bradley and Shirley did that.
yeah. So the next step would be to start taking this information and putting it into the spreadsheet that Mike's looking at. So that, you know, it
Yes.
should make our job easier.
Yeah, so John said a 24 by 12 by 4 buried granite flush marker is $350. And then if we added an inscription, it's, so much per letter.
So you're looking at a little over 1,000. Not per stone, but together.
Yeah, together, yeah.
What's the per letter for the?
He didn't say, I'd have to ask. him.
Oh, okay. One's gonna say infant. I think.
So it's kind of like when you get a stone, you get your birth date, but you don't get your close date,
Mhm.
you're dead. So then later on, it's like $150 or $200 to put in the date.
Mhm.
But that's because they have to match the font and everything. It probably is less for just regular font all at once.
Is the 3 stones, that one, is one of those 3, Bradley, the one that's all in pieces?
Yeah, that's Leonard's Spears.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if we were talking about this or not, but you know, maybe we could take Leonard and, because there are some nice pieces there. And maybe we can preserve them and put them in whatever's going on back here with
For the
the.
historical society,
For the historic, put in a nice kind of like glass box, like what's on the wall there, except,
the quilt, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, cause it's,
It's all laying on the ground and laying there alone, but.
Yeah.
Long time.
yeah,
Do you have a stone, Lucian?
No,
Huh? Now, some people don't get a stone until the first person does. You know how that is.
risky.
I got plenty of stones, but I don't have one up down there.
Now, a lot of people are doing private burials on their own,
Yeah,
land.
My father had a deal with some guy in Barry. And he furnished a little stone, a lot of them. Almost gave them to this town, I don't know how he run across them, but. I know the guy used to come to our house. And so. Lots of them got to the Taylor cemetery.
I would say that if I was a guessing man, I would guess that probably 99% of these empty lots are sold.
Yeah, because Linda said they were all sold. That's why I'm surprised there's not.
Yeah, but
I know a couple of people that they have lots there and they're not gonna be buried there.
Well, a lot more people are being cremated and they want to be on people's mantle or in a necklace, I guess. Yeah. People do that.
Well, this you can see where the gaps are, at least, and have an idea of maybe it's open, maybe it's not.
I think you should go ahead. And get those 3 stone. And get them in. We've been looking at that for a long time.
Yeah, and there was 3 stones, speaking of stones that are too big to be messed with by someone who doesn't know what they're doing. There is 3 stones in Fairmont that, I'd like to make a motion, I guess, that we get a professional to fix those stones. There are 3 of them. They're really close together. One is crooked and you'll notice it as soon as you drive by it. The other one is face down, and then the other one is pretty sizable. It's smaller than that table, but it's big and it's been disheveled and it would probably need. And I don't know if maybe we get prices on those, if that's how it goes.
Let me take pictures of them and then we can send them out to bid.
Okay, because I think if those three got fixed, it'd be really nice. They're right next to each other, so it's an obvious kind of eyesore.
There's a lot of them there.
There are.
And one time we got a bid on them. There's a road that kind of goes up from there down. The guy gave a very, very detailed bid, 24,000. I said, wow.
Yeah,
Was that cleaning or fixing?
Thought that was cleaning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No. Fix up.
Oh, it was.
I was thinking it was.
I mean, I know it can cost a lot of money to clean a whole cemetery.
yeah.
No, this was to fix some, all the front ones that was all how to work.
Mhm. Yeah, I started marking them on this map with just what was kind of fallen, what was trouble, what was leaning. And I think with that chain hoist, we could fix a lot of the leaning ones, you know, a lot of it is just digging around it, pulling it out, leveling it, you know, putting some gravel down, putting it back. And putting the dirt
I
back.
guess the list for the Davenport people, I think,
Oh, okay.
That we know.
that we're working.
Well, if someone had gone ahead and fixed some of those leaning ones, we gotta be real careful. Well, anyone getting hurt or something, you know. I mean,
Yeah, because I don't know if the town's liability insurance covers us. I have no idea.
Yeah, and then, again, that's my point with that one large one I was talking about, it's like that requires the hands of a professional.
So I guess you want to do a motion to look into getting a price on that?
Yeah, getting bids or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you made the motion, you'll just need a second. Mike's like, okay.
Keep things moving.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't do them all at once, you know, so let's just maybe see what we can do with a couple of
Right. You start small, that's what you
them.
do.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get some pictures of those. I think the only other thing I had on my list was the flag. Pole's been painted. There's an eagle on top that broke. Spray painted that gold, and then I just gotta glue the wing back on. With some cement glue.
And now you need a flag, a new flag.
The flag is in the hearse house waiting for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now I just need string, and I think if I could just go get that at Ace Hardware or whatever.
Absolutely.
bring the receipt, okay.
Yeah, just bring me a receipt. Yeah.
that was for one.
For a flag.
String, so you.
I think it's like around here somewhere, it's Hubbles.
Yeah.
But. Great,
And so I put a padlock on the hearse house and I just did like a combo lock. And so the thing is 1781, I just did the pound charter because I figured it was
That's
easy for everybody to remember. And we didn't have to have another key.
Yeah, you know, we have one of those up at the transfer station, we don't.
Mhm.
yeah, I put all the cleaning supplies and stuff that we've bought, and that's all sitting in there. So,
And then I guess on to, if we want to talk about cleaning stones, so I was talking to Jim Holton the other day because I had taken down some firefighter flags that were ripped and torn. Well, anyways, they want to clean some stones, so they're welcome, they're happy to like team up with us. Talking about like using them as a water source, because when I was talking to Jim, we were talking about pressure washing, and then I was talking to Bradley about it, and pressure washing is a no-no, I guess, with stones. So we wouldn't want to do the pressure washing, but they could be our water source to go up there and clean with the chemicals and stuff, so.
Yeah, their pressure is bad.
Yeah, and he said they can adapt down
Yeah.
to, like a garden hose size, and so it'd be
Right.
less pressure. So they can get it so it's less pressure, definitely, but, you know. So I don't know if we want to.
I mean,
Maybe we can use that on the-
their power to knock stone right off. the trees.
Yeah, and very well, I don't know. We'd have to.
If they're gonna show up with water, they might as well show up with those hoses and, you know, maybe we can do concrete steps first, and he's like, yeah, that's a really bad idea.
Yeah. So yeah, we could maybe try to line up with them to do like a test night and go up to the Fairmont.
Yeah, Monday nights, they do practice, so.
Yeah, we could go and maybe go up to the Fairmont and do those steps and see how it comes out and then decide from there.
That'd be great, yeah, because maybe we might even make an event out of it. I mean, more people scrubbing stones.
Yeah, and it sounded like he'd be happy to have the guys help do the stones, because he said they were getting ready to start washing some stones, so. And I was like, oh, we wanna do that too.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I can maybe I'll get a hold of him to find out if what Monday would work, and I can let everybody know, and then we can maybe meet up there, so.
that's great.
Okay,
Super cool that they want to be involved.
Like, what are you gonna have them do?
they wanna help wash the stones. The fire.
They have a few stones they want to clean themselves.
Their own stones?
I think some of the firefighter ones they were looking at doing, but then I talked to them about how we wanna clean stones collectively throughout the cemeteries. And so Jim was offering he would help us, so.
I know there's a procedure, how to clean them.
Yeah, and he's researched it and found the right chemicals and stuff.
Yeah, basically, it's no power washing, no wire brushes, no bleach.
Yeah.
Those
No,
are-
it's kind of like an acid formula that you put on there. And it depends
Yeah.
on if it's smooth or if it's rough.
Yeah, and there was another, I was reading online about people using this purple power. And I think maybe we buy a little bit of that and see how that goes, put it on some stone that's, I mean, every stone is important. But like picking a stone where it's just like, well, if it doesn't work out and it turns blue, it won't be for everybody.
I've seen the procedure turn them blue though.
No,
No.
yeah,
But he was just saying, like,
Oh,
testing
okay.
out this chemical rather than using, because it's cheaper, you said he was.
it's a lot cheaper. It's $10 for a gallon compared to, I mean, I think that gallon we got was pricey. It was expensive and
Well, if we're going to do individual stones, that's what it sounds like,
Yeah,
then you better be ready for someone else who wants her to come through.
Well,
yeah, we would
they
basically,
offer the services out there. We're just trying the cemetery can pick and choose and do whatever they want with their money.
so we would just basically say, we're gonna go to the Davenport Cemetery and we're gonna clean all those stones this year. And then we go in, the fire department's gonna volunteer, we gotta buy the chemicals potentially. Firefighters will be our water source, and we go in and clean those stones, and then we're done. And then the next year we go do the section of the Fairmont and do a section at a time, I guess, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
it does, like Fairmont, I could see us just taking this upper part, like doing the loop, everything that's visible in the loop. And then over the years, we just start expanding. the loop.
Branching out.
Yeah, branching out, but just trying to get all the stuff that we're, when our tourists come through and they wanna cruise, Fairmont Cemetery, they have a really good time,
All the visitors came this weekend.
And they gone.
They might be.
And we got the flags all up, huh?
Yeah, I put them up on the 15th.
Oh, there's one more tree. I was there and I was talking to Delmer, I think. They're like right here where these 4 blanks are. And there's a tree there. Half of it's rotted. They'd love the whole thing to just go away. Maybe this is something you got, Mike, I don't know. And because I don't know where I think you would have to drop it up the
Up the
hill.
bank, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's-
Did we look at this together?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
up the bank would be the only
Or would they
way.
have to cut sections off the top to take?
They might have
But
this
you even
section.
know you couldn't even get a piece of equipment out there to do it where it is.
That's what I heard.
Yes. So it would
Nice
literally,
full
we'd have to
bank.
drop it up the bank.
Yeah.
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 And there's nothing behind it because it's that big hillside right here.
But would it roll back down? Or would it hit something first?
I think maybe if you if we went up top and then we could possibly hook it with a cable, and then as they cut, we could tighten the cable
Mhm,
and keep the tension on it from making it from sliding down the bank.
mhm.
Be careful.
Well, and that's why we have a professional.
Right, again, that's why I'm not out there with the chainsaw.
That's what you do.
Nice to get,
It's me first. Yeah.
nice to get a tree service, so it's not expensive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Well, that's why I'm gonna ask Reno. I mean, he worked for the town this winter. Maybe he'll give us a deal.
yeah.
Sure, and
Mike
so,
always volunteer, we have insurance, so I mean, Derek's got insurance and he has tree experience.
So just got hurt. Don't get him hurt again.
Just let it work. Yeah. So, But Derek has experience.
That's somebody with a fellow buncher that's really good. Amazing where they can place them, but.
He has to say, there's absolutely no way you're getting to this
I know.
over there, yeah.
Yeah, but plenty of room for the tree next to the Hearst house, which you go to. So do we need
Yeah,
to
the
make a
tree.
motion for that too?
Yeah.
He's like, "No, why don't you wait to get a bid and then you guys can decide with how much it would cost
Okay.
for the three,
We
whatever
have to make
trees."
motions for the bid, like I'll make a motion to,
Well, I'm gonna reach out to Reno. If it's huge amount, then we'd have to put it out to bid, but let's get an estimate.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it'll be pretty small. It's just those two trees.
Yeah, I think those two really dead ones would be easy. It's that,
I mean-
the stone is gonna be the more complex.
Right. That's something you might see me go out and do, is take those two trees down that are this big.
Yeah, they're tiny, they're just dead and
Yeah.
shatter into 1,000 pieces, that's the big thing. The cleanup's gonna be the worst of it, because they're gonna hit the ground and just go everywhere because they're dead.
They're dead.
So,
But that would be great. That family was really nice. They got their card. So I'll let them know that I told them I'd talk about it here, so. I'll let them.
Get Lucian to sign that paper.
I got it right here.
Oh, one more, is I wanted to get a can of white spray paint, to Krista, I think this was your sister that was saying that it'd be great if all those poles that are in the Davenport, they're like those, T-posts or
yeah.
whatever. If we just hit those with a little white spray paint, I'm happy to do it if we.
Just
if we
figure it
just
out,
make
yep. He's all over the place.
Is there anything else anybody can think of?
that's not.
Set a date to go look at everything. You pick a day that you're not gonna rain.
I don't know if you can do that. It's Russian
Is
roulette.
there a way to verify, like, everybody I have on my map list for flags? Like, am I missing anybody? Like, do we have a way to verify who should have flags? Cause I mean, I have the list that Mammy made, 100 years ago, that we've been
Maybe
following.
the VFW, I don't know how you do that.
Because I mean,
Really?
over the years, I've added people,
Yeah.
like Taylor keeps growing as people.
Right,
get
yeah,
Taylor.
as far as I know, all the names here on the monument and,
But are those all people that were buried in Wolcott?
these are all people that serve from here.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I was just curious.
Maybe the VFW would know.
You have a digital version of that list?
Not yet.
Yeah, okay.
My grandmother's 1,000-year-old computer that no longer exists.
If I can scan it, I might be able to take the text off. It's hard, but.
Yeah, so I was gonna.
She has to
clean
do
it.
Excel.
So I was gonna do it for you and get it over to you.
Okay, that's fine, because then we'll put it onto the map.
It's my map list.
Oh,
It's all the names of, this is the Fairmont cemeteries, and all the people that we put maps, and then Davenport and
Yep.
Taylor. And as you see, I've added to Taylor.
Yeah, I saw you working it when we were putting them up. I was like, gosh. Oh, thanks.
And he was gonna coordinate them and mark them on the aerial view, so we knew, so that way anybody could go put up the flags, I've done them since I was like 10, so I like kind of know where they all go. That way somebody else could do it easily.
All right, it sounds like we all got work to do. We gotta give Lucian something to do.
Send a thank you to the people that are.
We gotta send a thank you to Gravel Construction for what they did.
You know,
Uh,
A real good one.
yeah, up to Fairmont, they filled in some stuff for us.
oh, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they donated it. So we appreciate that.
They're real, they're a super job. Wow. Great.
Then you make a motion that we should write a thank you card.
No, I'll write a thank you card. But we thank Lucian personally for having that.
Thank you.
What did I do?
You have the family.
Oh, yeah.
Kids.
Yeah,
But we do need a motion to adjourn.
When you get ready to do whatever you're doing, would you let me know?
Absolutely.
Let me know.
Yep. Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll say.
A motion for the curtain, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Wow. There's nothing slower than progress.
I don't think we're missing anybody, right? This is all of us?
No, this is
I mean,
your fun.
Jacqueline, she's happy to help and volunteer.
Oh, Angelina. She couldn't make it tonight. She let us know by email. Yeah. No, she couldn't make it.
Right.
So yeah, when you come back up, just let me know and then we could coordinate with Mike and we can show him around the cemetery.
Yep.
So when you come back up next week or whatever, the next couple of weeks. we can Coordinate with you. And I can take you around too.
I don't know how to stop this.
Yeah.
Plug it. Next guy starts it, gonna be pissed. Hey, Mike, how you been?
Good. So,
Staying out of trouble.
yeah, they were up looking at my culvert up there today.
Never do it.
Dylan, engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it.
Took me. They're in the fly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we had enough rain though.
Yeah.
Just on this.
Yeah, the rain hasn't. Just enough. We're gonna have some more. That's not to make it busy.
I'm like, you could go all night and I wouldn't know.
Where was more, she's.
See ya.
Where wasn't it?
Up now.
Seven's the east side of Elmore, I can't think where the hell it is.
You need a touch screen. I'm so much.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you got it?
On my mouse.
Okay. Thank God for that.
And